You know, I used to only play chords as I thought they were intended. Like if it was a G, I would just play a G chord. But there's this one specific thing Bob Weir does with chords that got me to completely change my perspective. So I'm gonna apply this to 3 different situations and see if you can hear what I'm doing. The problem with just playing a chord normally is it doesn't provide much movement. So what Bob does all the time is throw in sus chords, which can help move the music forward, you know? So, you know, the most common one you'd see would be like right here, you know, with a D. So just throwing that note there. So a lot of people play that and they don't know, you know, what it is, you know, they're doing. But that's throwing in this major third and then a fourth, and that's what makes it a sus4. Now there's actually 2 types of sus chords. There's a sus2, sus4. We're gonna actually just simplify things and look at just sus4 and all the things that he did with it, or some of the things, right? There's so many things we could do, all right? But this first one was around a G shape. So if you don't know your cage system, it's just an acronym for C, A, G, E, D, and those open chords. So if we take the G shape like this right here, and then you imagine barring down and you move it way up here because we're doing it over an E chord. This progression is just from Sing Me Back Home too, by the way. The Merle Haggard tune they would cover. And it's in the key of A, but this is happening over the E chord G shape like this. This is a little weird though. We don't need all these notes. He's actually not playing the top one. He's not even playing the bottom one, just playing the middle 4, right? So just getting that. Sometimes throw that on there too. And if you don't know these shapes, you know, I've got a cage cheat sheet. Put a link in the description down below if you want to just grab that. Just a quick PDF that's got all these shapes and scales and arpeggios and things kind of all mapped out around them. It is definitely a great way to see the fretboard. So we've got this one right here. Here's our third. And then you throw on right here. Right there. So there it is around that G shape, so E chord in the G shape. You'd have to just take that up, right? So that is something, yeah, apply that anywhere, you know, it's like, oh, here's B in that's the same shape. Right, you know, here is, you know, D, here's D. You can hear how it sounds the same, right? So let's check out the next shape and situation. So now here we're in the key of A, so here it is on the 1 chord, on the A chord, in again another cage shape here, the C shape, one of Bob's and my own favorite shapes, but you don't hear people do it too often. And again, it's 1 fret over, or sorry, 1 string over, same fret, from the root note, just like in the G shape. So you have to take that finger off, right? But this time I went like this. Something like that, right? So this is something where you don't want to just play it, you're real quick, like that, you know, just, oops. But you can throw in other notes like that too, just going right down the scale. It's just going fa, mi, re, do, you know, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just holding these other notes down. So another way to think of this too is you know, we're throwing these in here, it's giving movement to things, and it's giving more color too if you hang on to it fast. But you can just do it kind of quick. It's not like you're playing the sus chord. It's just kind of like, I don't even think of it like it's a sus chord. I'm just thinking of it as like, it's a passing thing. But if you want to analyze and figure out what it is, okay, to be a sus chord. But you can play them as single notes too, and as part of larger things too, to give it a lot of movement. And you know, we're getting just a glimpse into Bob's approach using sus chords, but if you want to dive even deeper than we have in this video so far, check out the Bob Weir 5-Day Challenge. Not only do I peel back even more layers, but it's focused on applying these tactics to yourself and your own developing your own kind of sound. So check out the link down below if you want to get started. So let's check out over one more shape, hearing how we would throw in the sus and what it sounds like. So here's a spot where we have a B, it's outside of the key, right? And it's called a pull chord. It pulls to E, and it goes just real briefly, and then back to, you know, A and things like that. And he just did it right here, just playing around this shape. So this would be the E shape, but not even doing the whole thing because you're kind of locked in, just playing these 3 strings. So it's actually what they call a triad. So it's a root position. So it's got the root, 3rd, and 5th, those 3. And then if that's the 3rd, we want that 4th for this sus 4. And then just did it to E. So just, which that sus is actually the E. And it gives it some movement. You could kind of held it down too. So again, you want to try to get the most out of these and really think about it as, you know, it could be an individual line, you know, with the chord down or not, you know, and you could be, you know, holding it down so you really hear that sus sound, or it could be just real quick in passing, you know, things like that. So really experiment around with this stuff, but there it is applied to 3 different shapes. So if it's new to you, really practice getting these down and moving around different areas so you're not just doing it in one spot. It's just a shape that you can apply. You know, there's 12 notes, so you get the shape once, you can play it 12 different ways. It's the same thing though, but 12 different versions of it, you know? And you know, Bob's way of adding the sus note has really opened up how I play chords. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. So check out this video here where we do a deep dive into even more Bob's tactics and how you can apply them to your own playing.